So let's also talk about a big focus of the Belt and Road is the digital aspect, the digital Belt and Road. And that ties into Chinese telecom Huawei, creating smart cities. This is sort of a big thing that they're doing in Africa. But, you know, the United States has been trying to create a global pushback against Huawei. So why is this Huawei digital Belt and Road so significant to the Chinese Communist Party?
So if you can control all of what people say, just look at the United States, if you can control what people say, then you can stop them from saying anything that, you know, this is authoritarianism 101. You can stop them from doing anything. Well, in Africa, for example, the biggest phone companies in Africa are now Chinese phone companies. And the reason why they're more likely to buy a Chinese phone is because China undercuts the price. So charges them less than it costs to even make the phone. Why would they do that? They want to do that because they want to have everybody to have a Chinese phone. They want to be on their system and they want them plugged into their internet so that they can listen. They built this big, like CIA, NSA type of place in Gnaizda province. It's huge. It's massive. And they're collecting people's DNA. They're collecting their voice. They're collecting their records. You know, as if they can take information from people all over the world and hold on to that information, they can control you.
Well, you know, some people listening might be like, wait, they're taking our DNA, but like this has actually come out. The what was the name of the company with the prenatal tests?
BGI?
BGI, yeah. One of the most popular prenatal tests in the world. And that information goes back to China. They are collecting DNA from a lot of people around the world.
A lot of when COVID hit, BGI started going around to different countries offering PCR tests.
Kind of this vaccine
right?
Belt and Road.
And then they also offered to build testing facilities in country. They offered in the US, they offered California, a number of other states to build testing facilities for them for PCR tests. And then the US federal government was like, do not take that money. So you are not allowed to. But if they hadn't stepped in, I mean, California bought $3 billion worth of masks from China. I mean, I don't see that they necessarily would have not accepted this Chinese, you know, like bio
Trojan horse.
Well, I wasn't going to say Trojan horse, but like this company, right, that has an interest in collecting all of this DNA data from the US and other places, because like data is power now. And California might not have said no.
How about 23andMe, Ancestry.com? You know, how much money, I always say, how much money is your life worth? You know, or your belief or your company worth? You know, how much can I buy you for? If you give 23andMe or Ancestry.com billions more than they could possibly ever imagine in their lifetime, and China can do it easily, and then they have everybody's DNA that was sent into those agencies. Imagine it wouldn't be that difficult to get a lot more data. The question is who's going to stop them and whether or not they can, you know, take those deals or shuffle off some of that data underground so that people don't know. I would like to think that there isn't a price tag on my head, which is why I continue to write books, even though I know it's dangerous. But I know that there are other people who don't. I have people who have been around my office who will not have their name or information shown. They'll help me, but they will not. They don't want to be involved. They don't want China to know anything because they're afraid. And I think this is going to happen more and more. Once someone feels that their life is, or their family's life is in danger, they will no longer do anything or say anything against China, which is what's happening in Hollywood and what's happening in Silicon Valley. And, there are a lot of places where people are not willing to say anything against China.
this really is. It shows the terror of the alternate Chinese system that the Communist Party is trying to set up. I don't even want to call it Chinese. It's just a communist totalitarian state that's influencing the entire world. However, so the Belt and Road, it on paper, it's this infrastructure investment project, and it is creating this horrible alternate system that, someday the Chinese Communist Party, you could use it to dominate the world. But at the same
someday.
Well, it's well on the way.